Anna, we're going to talk about kind of your first year in business and what led to you becoming Rookie of the Year.
So what I did getting into the business is I made sure I educated every single buyer who sat down with me. I would tell them there's don't bring anything except your questions. Don't bring a checkbook. Don't bring anything except your questions. I go through every line of the contract with the buyer before we step out the door and look at a house. So they know what the expectations are as a buyer, what the expectations are from the seller, and what their commitments are from the lender. You know, what not to do. Do not go out and buy a car. Do not open credit. Don't do an inquiry. And then I would tell them, okay, this is what a home inspection is, and this is how much it's going to cost. These are your closing costs. And I explained to them the purpose of a survey. Why is it important for a survey? And what is a title search? So I educated them, and I tell them at the end, if you don't want to work with me, I just know you're educated. Because, you know, one thing people hate to do is buy a car, and they hate to buy a car because they feel like they were taken advantage of or they paid too much, right? So I always wanted people to feel like you knew what you were getting into. We were in it together. You were educated, and it gets fun because as you're out looking at a house and you're explaining to someone, when you're actually looking at a house, you know, this is an architectural roof, and you're explaining things to them. The next house are like, oh, that's an architectural roof, right? Oh, Anna, that's this. They're like, yes, it is. And it's so fun to see their excitement. It's almost like Christmas morning for them, right? So the one thing I really did the most was make sure I educated people. I will not go out and show you anything until we sit down. And I tell them, it's a 2-hour conversation. Could be 3 if you have more questions. But I'm going to go through everything with you.
I think, you know, with the educating the buyer too, one of the things you probably have found is, you know, agents have had buyers where they go show them houses and then they get cold feet and then we're going to rent for another year, right? And when you're having this education with the buyer, you're really kind of getting a feel like, are these guys serious, or were they kind of on the fence? And this is either going to help them address a lot of their questions and get over that fear, or if they were going to waste your time and you will go out for 2 weekends and then they say we're going to rent for another month or another year, that probably takes that out of the equation.
I do feel like the educational part just lets them feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing.